Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain about multiple threshold CMOS circuits. Okay, so in the previous discussion, I have explained about voltage scaling process to reduce the power consumption and at the same time to reduce the standby mode power consumption, that is nothing but the threshold, sub-threshold currents. So I have explained about the variable threshold CMOS technique. Now, I am going to explain about multiple threshold CMOS technique to reduce the standby mode currents, that is sub-threshold currents. Okay, so here we have that in short form, this multiple threshold CMOS circuits technique is called as what MT CMOS technique. Okay, so MT CMOS technique is another one which can be applied for reducing the leakage current in low voltage circuits in standby mode is based on using two different types of transistors. Okay, in the previous discussion, that is in VT CMOS, we have considered that the substrate bias control circuit, and we have controlled the threshold voltages, or we have varied the threshold voltages at standby mode and at the same time in the active mode. Okay, so but here we are considering that MT CMOS means here multiple threshold voltages. So we are designing two transistors. Suppose if you consider as an inverter circuit, we are considering the two transistors, that is NMOS and PMOS, and they have the multiple threshold. That means what? They have different threshold voltage transistors. The threshold voltage of NMOS and PMOS is not equal and it is different. Okay, so that's why it is called as multiple threshold CMOS circuits. Okay, so here we have that MT CMOS is another technique which can be applied for reducing the leakage currents in the low voltage circuits in the standby mode, is based on using two different types of transistors, both NMOS and PMOS, with two different threshold voltages in the circuit. Okay, so here the NMOS and PMOS have two different threshold voltages, right? So here we have two types of circuits. One is high threshold voltage MOS transistors we have, and another one is low threshold voltage actual CMOS circuits or logic circuits we have. Okay, so here if you observe this diagram here, we have the CMOS logic with the low threshold voltage. We are designing like that to improve the speed of the circuit. Okay, so because as we decreases the power supply or VDD, so in the previous discussion we have seen that the time delay or the propagation delay will be increases. So as the propagation delay is increases, automatically the speed will be reduced. Okay, so to avoid that one, here we are using two types of transistors, that is NMOS and PMOS, with two different threshold voltages. That's why it is called as what? Multiple threshold CMOS circuits. Okay, so now here the circuit consists of here low threshold voltage CMOS logic, or what logic we require. We will make that CMOS logic with low threshold voltage circuitry or the transistors. And here we have two transistors, that is high threshold voltage PMOS and at the same time high threshold voltage NMOS transistors. And we are using those transistors at the standby mode. Okay, so this is about the diagram what we are going to consider in multiple threshold CMOS circuits. So here you can observe that this high threshold voltage, if you use the high threshold voltage, we can prevent the sub-threshold leakage in standby mode. Okay, so if you use that low threshold voltage, there will be a sub-threshold problems we will get. Okay, so to avoid that one, at the standby mode of the transistor, so we are going to present or we are going to apply a high voltage, high threshold voltage that will prevent the threshold, sub-threshold leakage currents in the standby mode. Okay, so here the circuitry in multiple threshold CMOS circuit consists of two types of transistors. One is high threshold voltage transistor and another one is what? The CMOS logic what we require, that will be constructed with the low threshold voltage transistors. That's why here we call this one as multiple threshold CMOS circuits. Okay, so this high speed operation with low power consumption. So for that purpose, we are going to construct our CMOS logic with low threshold voltage. But here, to prevent the subthreshold leakage in standby mode, so we are going to use high threshold voltage transistors. Okay, so that's what here we have. Here, low threshold voltage transistor typically used to design the logic gates where switch speed is essential, whereas high threshold voltage transistors, that is nothing but this NMOS transistor and this PMOS transistor, are used to avoid this leakage currents, that is sub-threshold leakage current. Okay, so whereas high threshold voltage transistors are used to effectively isolate the logic gates in standby and to prevent the leakage power dissipation, or we can also call as what, sub-threshold power dissipation. Okay, so here how these transistor will works means I have given here. In active mode, the high threshold voltage transistors are turned on, and if these two transistors are turned on means, so they will supply the voltage or the power to this CMOS or low threshold voltage CMOS logic. Okay, so that's why in the active mode, the high threshold voltage transistors are turned on, and the logic gates consisting of low threshold voltage transistors can operate with low switching power dissipation and a small propagation delay. Why? Because these are low threshold voltage. If you scale down the threshold voltage, automatically the propagation delay will be decreases. So propagation delay increases, the speed will be increased. Okay, that's what here we have. In active mode, whenever the threshold voltage, that is high threshold voltage transistors, is on condition or in active mode, the logic gates, we have what here, CMOS logic gates with low threshold voltage will become operated. Okay, where low threshold voltage transistors can operate with low switching power dissipation and small propagation delay. This is the importance of this high threshold voltage transistors. But we have seen the active mode, but our problem is what? In the standby mode, we are losing there is a power dissipation in the transistors, okay, at the time of standby mode. Then how we can avoid that one? So I already told that whenever if you increases the high threshold voltage, if you increases the threshold voltage, automatically there is no leakage currents that will take place, because here if the more threshold voltages means here that I already told that we cannot apply very less threshold voltages. So due to that, the delay will be increased. But here we are applying what? High threshold voltages. Okay. So because of that, whatever it may be in standby mode or in active mode, there is no problem with this leakage currents. That's what the point here. Now, when the circuit is driven into standby mode, on the other hand, the high threshold voltage transistor, VT here is nothing but what? The threshold voltage. That's why I'm talking about high threshold voltage transistors like that. Okay, I am spelling that one as high threshold voltage transistor. VT represents the threshold voltage. Okay, so when the circuit is driven into the standby mode, when the circuit is driven means this CMOS logic circuit is driven into the standby mode. Okay, so if that is goes into the standby mode, automatically this high threshold voltage NMOS and PMOS will goes into the off condition. Both will be off condition means there is no operation that is taking place. There is no power consumption that is taking place in this CMOS logic circuit. Like that, we can reduce our power. Okay. When the circuit is driven into standby mode, on the other hand, the high threshold voltage transistors are turned off. When those transistors are turned off, automatically there is no power supply or there is no power that is supplied to this CMOS logic circuit or CMOS gates, what we have prepared here with low threshold voltage. So whenever these turned off, automatically this CMOS logic also cannot work. Okay, so that is the point you have to remember. So here, when the circuit is driven into the standby mode, on the other hand, the high threshold voltage transistors are turned off, and the conduction paths for any subthreshold leakage currents that may originate from the internal low threshold voltage circuitry effectively cut off. Okay, so if this thing is this will be off condition and this will be off condition. So whenever there will be a leakage current is there, means there will be a leakage current present between the VDD and VSS. So if these transistors are off condition, there is no connection with the CMOS logic with this VDD or this ground. So there is no leakage current that will flows between the VDD and VSS. Okay, so like that we can avoid this leakage current in the standby mode by using this multiple threshold CMOS circuits. Okay, so now the empty CMOS technique is conceptually easier to apply and to use compared to the VT CMOS technique, which is usually require a sophisticated substrate bias control mechanism. So what is the limitation I told in the VT CMOS is nothing but it required N-well process or triple N-well process. We require to operate or to apply this VT CMOS technique, and at the same time we have the sophisticated substrate bias control mechanism. So that is very difficult to operate or to place that one on the chip. That's why here, as compared with the VT CMOS, so we can use empty CMOS here. Okay. Next one is the empty CMOS technique does not require a twin well or triple well CMOS process like VT CMOS. So as we discussed in the previous class, that is nothing but VT CMOS required a twin well or triple well CMOS process, but here empty CMOS cannot require that. Okay, so that is another important point. Next one is the only significant process related overhead of empty CMOS circuit is the fabrication of mass transistors with different threshold voltages. So if you observe this VT CMOS, there the problem is substrate bias control mechanism. But here the only significant problem what we can identify in the empty CMOS is nothing but here we have to fabricate two different transistors with different threshold voltages, that is lower threshold voltage transistors and higher threshold voltage transistors we have to fabricate. That is the only problem we have in this multiple threshold CMOS circuits. Okay, so this is about the multiple threshold CMOS circuits. Now, what is the disadvantage of this one? One of the disadvantages of this empty CMOS circuit technique is the presence of series connected standby transistors, which increases the overall circuit area and also add extra parasitic capacitances. Okay, one problem is this one, the basic problem, that is empty CMOS circuit requires a fabrication of different threshold voltage transistors. Either it may be NMOS or PMOS. With low threshold voltage and high threshold voltage transistors, we have to fabricate. So that is the only problem we have. And at the same time, another disadvantage is we require a series of transistors we require. And at the same time, due to that, the area will increase. And at the same time, the extra parasitic capacitance will be increases. Okay. So as the capacitance is increases, automatically the circuit performance will be reduced. Okay. That is one of the disadvantages of this empty CMOS. Okay. So this is multiple threshold CMOS circuit. These two we have, that is multiple threshold CMOS circuits and VT CMOS circuits, we cannot use always. Okay. So at that point, to improve the power consumption reduction and at the same time the leakage current reduction and to increase the speed, we will go with the architectural circuitry. So that is nothing but the pipeline process and at the same time parallel process. Okay, so now we'll go with the architectural design techniques what we have. Okay, so why we have to consider these architectural design techniques means while the VT CMOS and empty CMOS circuit techniques can be very effective in designing low power, low voltage logic gates, they may not be used as a universal solution to the low power CMOS design technique. Okay, so what is the limitation here? We cannot always use these VT CMOS and empty CMOS to avoid this high power consumption. Okay, so that's why we will go with the low power CMOS logic design techniques, that is nothing but architectural design techniques. Okay, so while the VT CMOS and MT CMOS circuits techniques can be very effective in designing low power, low voltage logic gates, but these cannot be used universal solutions to low power CMOS design, logic design. Okay, so that is the problem why we have to go with the architectural design technique. Okay, so in certain type of applications where variable threshold voltage and multiple threshold voltages are infeasible due to the technological limitations. So what are those technological limitations means? So on the chip, we have to place substrate bias. Okay, and at the same time, we have to place many number of transistors to place that empty CMOS, that is nothing but low threshold voltage transistors and high threshold voltage transistors on the chip. That fabrication and at the same time the area consumption will be more. Okay, that is the limitation. So these two methods are not feasible always to design a low power CMOS logic design. Okay, that's why we'll go with the pipeline approach and parallel processing approach. Okay, so this is about the empty CMOS and its advantages and its disadvantages as compared with the VT CMOS. Okay, thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel.